Hello. I hope I don't bore you with this, but you touched upon it in your earlier comments. In a few months of transition between Spumco turning into games animation, exactly how tense did that get? Because I've heard reports of things getting almost like West Side Story / The Warriors, where
Full Metal Jacket.
yeah, yeah. I heard like physical altercations, screaming matches.
Shrinks having to come in and intervene.
I just. What was your take on that?
I wanted nothing to do with it. You know, I wasn't taking anybody's sides. I was a hired gun. That's all I know. I paid to come in there and knock everybody on their ass, and that's what I
So you were pretty much trying to like almost be a mediator or just do your
all factions want you to be on their side. Today's the day you're not going to have God on your side. Sorry. You know. And there is a book out there. You'll probably love it. It's been released. It's the unofficial Ren and Stimpy. It's a big chronicle of the whole thing. And I can tell you firsthand from what I know is that it's so true. It's unbelievable what happened. This kid, I don't know. It's like he was following us around, but he had to be 7, you know, and he couldn't have been. But he wrote a damn good book. He's a hell of a writer. I just thought he was asking random questions, and that's that. He put it in a college paper. No, he wrote this entirely full book, and he talked to everybody. Everybody and anybody who was involved in that show, he talked to.
Yeah, I was like reading a lot of the animation, the professional grade animation magazines around the time. That's like getting these like sidebar words that were saying, oh, there was a fight in Nickelodeon Studios, or there was a street match, there was like people getting sued, like in 5 different directions, and yeah, I just wanted.
No, it's like, you know what it would have been like if I stayed there? It's like in a pool ball, and somebody throws a punch, next thing you know, they're all throwing punches at each other. And this fight cloud starts with planets and stars, Roman numerals, and dust, and I would crawl up. I didn't want anything to do with that stuff. Yeah, because it wasn't my place, actually. You know, I wasn't going to go to war for anybody.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you were just there to get paid to do work.
Yeah, but I had to get myself together. I wasn't all that together, you know. I mean, my head was spinning from just like becoming sober. I was a drug addict and an alcoholic for I don't know how many years, more than a decade. And I quit everything like 28 years ago. So I was like new. I didn't know what it was like to be out at 7:30 at night. It was over for like the greater part of my adult life. You know, I'm not making jokes about it. It was horrible. It was hideous. But I was a musician, and that's where all that junk got started. You know, that was what you did. But you know, to be clean and then all of a sudden be sucked into this turbulence. And I said, this reminds me of the house I grew up in. You know, and I just wanted nothing to do with it.
If I can ask, how many years have you been around?
Almost 28.
And
Thank you. No, but you do understand that a lot of creative people are missing things in their development. And I'm the first one to say it. I was kind of geeky. I mean, back in the 50s when I grew up, you couldn't save anything. There was no way you could capture anything from television to show somebody who hadn't seen it. You couldn't have your own little version of anything. I never dreamt in my lifetime there'd be some screen that you could pop up and watch. You feel like watching the beginning of, you know, I don't know, some old cartoon that you haven't seen in 50 years, and there it is. That was the dream. So what the next best thing was artists so badly wanted to play the home game of something they thought was cool, and they would either learn to draw it, or they would learn to sound like it. And when I got my first real tape recorder, brown tape, everyone, yeah, I mean, there were cassettes in '68, and I switched over, but all my reels had deteriorated because I listened to reams of television dial-up. You know, while I was going to bed, I'd be in my hours. And I guy was my role model. I didn't have one. So I thought this guy with a tuxedo and a gun and women, you know, and a gull-wing car. That's what I wanted. Man, that's for me, you know. So I lived in that fantasy stuff, but what you did was you learned to recreate stuff out of desperation. Because you said to somebody, hey, did you see that thing on Sunday night? And they go, oh, no, I missed it, I haven't done homework. Well, I'll show you. You know, and I'd go through all these characters, and that's where that stuff really kicked in. So I think everybody here that's creative understands what it's like to just reach into a pile of nothing and come out with something substantial. And it's, to me, that's like a magical power or something. You know, most people can't do that. And besides, I always thought talent was a form of mental illness. You know, I really did. It's aberrant to the human condition. You know, not everybody has talent as much as they all think they do now. Because anybody can be anything. Yeah, I'm a singer. My videos are, you know, and you know, it's like the real talent is frightening to people who don't understand it. They either fall in love with it or they resent the hell out of it. And I've seen it my whole life, and I had to pretend like I couldn't do anything because I would make people angry. And now it's like, you know, you're a hero if you can do some cool little thing, and it's really like borders on the part of art and imagination. I mean, everybody here that's into this whole thing wants to build something that is inspired by, or actually a copy or a replica of something they thought was the coolest thing in the world. Back then, the coolest thing in the world I thought I was ever going to see in my entire life was going to go away in 5 minutes, and I'm never going to see it again. So, desperation. You're welcome.